everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Meredith E. Phillips. I'm a writer, reader, and bunny mama. Today I'm going to be sharing with you some of my favorite resources for writing. This is going to be a really general type of list. There's not really a theme in terms of what types of resources, but these are just some different places I've found over the last several years that have been really inspiring or really helpful for me. They aren't necessarily ones I've seen listed a whole lot of other places. So hopefully one or two of these at least will help you out when you are in the need for some of this specific information. The first one is actually another YouTube channel. It is SJstrums YouTube channel. She is a British mother to 3, and a lot of her channel is sort of lifestyle and parenting advice and that sort of thing, but on Mondays, she does Baby Name Monday, and she has been sharing baby name lists for years now. She's got well over 100 different videos that have all kinds of different baby names on them. She does videos where the names are centered around all kinds of different things, like she's got girl names that are also flowers. She has names that relate to particular seasons or holidays. She has names from different countries. She's got names related to mythological figures or fantasy figures. It's very extensive, and the cool thing with this is, number one, if you're looking for names for your characters and you want the name to fit a certain type of meaning or a certain atmosphere, you could probably find a list on her channel that'll have some really good suggestions. So you can definitely use it in that way. But the other thing that has been really cool for me as I've watched these is sometimes it's not necessarily the name itself that is super inspirational to me, but the meaning behind the name. There was one name she shared a little while back, I don't even remember what video it was in now, but it meant something like Son of the Enchanted Forest, and I was like, oh, that is a story idea like right there. So if you're looking for inspiration for story ideas, or if you need some help figuring out names for different characters, SJstrums site is a great place to start. The next resource I want to point you to is a website / Instagram account for an artist. It is Amandeep Singh. His sort of artist name is Inquisitive, and I've followed him now for years. He does all kinds of different computer artwork. I'm sure there's like a more technical term for it, but I don't know what it is. Anyway, he does all kinds of different stuff. He's done some really beautiful tribute pieces for famous actors or other people who have died recently. He's also done like political types of artwork. He's done religious artwork. He's Sikh, and so a lot of times he'll do art for a particular guru in their religion. He'll explain in the description of the piece like who the guru was and what they did and why they're revered and that kind of thing. So it's been actually a really cool way for me to learn about the Sikh religion. The portion of his website that has been really inspirational to me in particular has been his sort of abstract section of the website. It's not super abstract. There's usually a figure, either an animal or a person, but they're extremely detailed pieces. He does the type of artwork where if you give it a passing glance, it looks like it's just a picture of a tiger or it's a picture of a girl dancing in the rain. But if you zoom in and look closer, he has within the art piece all these different hidden things, either other little tiny hidden pictures, or he'll have different elements of the art that mean different things. And if you go on his Instagram, which of course I'll link everything below, if you go on his Instagram, he will sometimes show a piece of his art and then he'll go through it and be like, did you notice these birds up here? Did you notice this thing over here? And here's what this means and here's what that means. And it's really cool. So do check him out. He's really encouraging. I think just as a creative, he's a really encouraging account to follow and has really inspirational artwork that he shares regularly. The third resource I want to share with you is maybe the one that most people are going to be aware of, but it is Obscura. I love this website. You can follow them on Twitter as well, and on Instagram, and they'll repost and post different kinds of things that'll then direct you to their website for different articles they've posted. But they have a plethora of all kinds of just weird stuff. Weird historical facts and figures, weird stuff going on that like archaeologists have found, all kinds of really cool stories from around the world. And these are super inspirational. If you're looking for story ideas, like go to the Atlas Obscura website because they've got a ton of different things that could completely inspire a story for you if you're feeling low on ideas at the moment. Their Instagram account is, in my opinion, really gorgeous, and it's just inspirational looking through all of the photos they've posted there. The fourth resource I want to point you to is Tim Clare's website. He has several different types of things over there, but the one in particular I want you to take a note of is the Couch to 80K Boot Camp. He has put together a completely free 8-week daily podcast, and you can listen to all of the episodes, and it is a really good program. There's a couple things about this that are really cool. Number one, the episodes are very short. You could fit these into almost any day, and it's a great writing practice. So the vast majority of the podcast episodes are under 20 minutes, and that includes the time he gives you to write. So usually he starts the podcast with some sort of encouragement and a type of writing prompt. He gives you time to do the writing prompt, and then he kind of does a little wrap up at the end. And they start out really kind of simple and straightforward, and he gets a little more complex as you go through the weeks of this podcast that he's put together. It's a great resource, and I got a lot of different story ideas. I learned some different things about what to pay attention to in my own writing. It was great, and it's free. He did all this stuff for free. It's really amazing. So definitely check him out. He is very active also over on Twitter if you're interested in following him over there. The final resource I want to point you to is maybe my favorite on this list. I found this maybe a year ago or so, and I'm obsessed with it. It's so cool. It's on the New York Public Library site, and it is called What's on the Menu. The New York Public Library has, and I don't know where exactly they collected all this from, but they have scanned copies of menus from all across the United States, with present day menus going all the way back to the 1850s. This is so cool. Okay, you can look at scans from menus from restaurants that were in Chicago in like 1860. I don't know. That is so cool to me. And the really neat thing is if you're doing a story that is set in some sort of historical time period, this is such a cool resource if you're including any kind of food that your characters might be eating. Because of course, our diet has changed over the last 150 plus years. Our idea of what constitutes a dessert has changed over the last 150 plus years. It's a really neat site. So for example, one of the interesting things to me was if you go back really far, you know, pre-1900, a lot of the desserts that they have, some of them are like cakes and things like that, but they also a lot of times will list things like almonds or dried fruit in the dessert section of the menu, which could be a really neat little detail to include in your story if your story is taking place in 1870 or something like that. Also, if you're doing a fantasy novel and you want some inspiration maybe for some types of foods that we would know what they are, but they aren't really typically what we tend to eat as a society anymore, these could be a really great resource for that as well. I highly encourage you to check them out. The other really interesting thing, of course, is because they are menus, it also includes the price that was being charged for these dishes. So if you're like, wait, what would people have paid for soup back in 1905? You can go look at a menu from 1905 and see the typical prices for the soups. And I love all that kind of stuff. I think it's just interesting from a sort of societal standpoint, but if you want those kind of extra details to add into your story, this is a great place to get them. There's also a section on the site that allows you to download the data. It could be spreadsheet heaven. I love a good spreadsheet, so this is a great site. Go check it out, definitely. It's just interesting to me, and hopefully it will be helpful for you when you are writing your stories. So that's all. It's a quick little video today with some helpful resources, hopefully helpful resources. If you've heard of any of these before and used them, definitely let me know in the comments. If you've got other sort of out of the way or random sort of writing resources that you've found over the years, let us know. I'm always looking for sort of those quirky sites that help you when you're writing. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more content from me, I do post videos every Tuesday and Friday, so hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see those. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Bye. It's super interesting. My husband loves texting me while I'm in the middle. Okay,